Okay, we're back. The broccoli has been in the oven now, the convection oven, for about 20 minutes. I checked it a minute ago and it's just getting that nice little singe on it that you like. You can cook it, of course, to your favorite temperature. I like it a little bit singed. The Redhead likes it quite a bit more singed, so we split the difference. But once you get to that place, you start to get your pan prepared for the pork chops. And to do that, I spilled in just a little bit, a giant, maybe silver dollar size of that olive oil that I showed you earlier, and a little bit of this epic duck fat, which also comes from Trader Joe's. Now, the flavor of this duck fat is the best, man. And if you're using good quality food, good quality oils and that sort of thing, it just makes everything so much better. The pork chops, also from Trader Joe's, good quality, no nitrates, no nitrites. That now you see I'm at a smoke point with the pork chops. I'm going to show you a trick here. I'm going to shut off the burner, shut off the convection oven, and the Brussels will stay warm while I'm finishing the pork chops. So I'm going to drop the pork chops in. Now they've been prepped with a garlic powder and also some fresh ground pepper. And I've salted one side. I'm going to put the side that I salted down in the pan. And you want to be careful when you drop the pork chops in the pan that you don't splash yourself, because it's the duck fat and the oil now is pretty warm. It's a fairly large pan, so I want to drop the chops into the center of the pan so they're going to get most of the heat, not on the edges of the pan. So now and then of course the pan is directly centered over the burner. I've also got some rosemary and thyme that I'm going to plop right on top of the chop when I turn the chop over. Now remember, I only salted one side of the chop so far. Now that they're in the pan, I'll salt the other side with the fresh ground Himalayan pink sea salt. I'm going to drop a screen on the top of the stove to save a little bit on cleanup. And I'm going to be looking for a little bit of brown on the bottom of the chop. When I say a little bit of brown, it's more than just a mark like you would get on a grill. It's going to create that kind of crust, that brown caramelization crust on the bottom. And then that's my cue to flip the chops and do the same thing on the other side. If I have a lot of time, I'll finish them in the oven and then deglaze the pan with a little bit of red wine and maybe some stock. And then I've got a nice little sauce that I can put over the pork chops. But if I've got enough oil and duck fat in the pan, I find that at the end here, I've got just enough juice that I can finish, once I'm plated, I can finish by putting a little bit of that juice over the pork chops, and it's just lovely. It's just perfect. So if you're in a hurry, you can skip the deglazing and go right to the chops themselves. Remember, I've got the garlic and the onions prepared. I don't put them in until after I get close to singeing or browning or marking one side of the pork chop. You can't really overcook. You can burn the garlic, but you can't. It's better to overcook a little bit than undercook, because otherwise it's just inedible. It's too chewy and too hard. So it's got to sit in the pan long enough to soften up and be friendly to your mouth. Okay, that's it. I'll join you again when we're ready to plate.